my attention that when they spoke about the bubble, Lomachenko said, all we need is a ring, the judges, TV, and 4 belts. And for Teofimo, he said, look, man, we're both prime-time fighters, and we're going to make adjustments. What was your big takeaway from what you saw, what you heard, Tim?
Well, I think that both guys, they show a little bit of respect for each other. I expected a little bit more talking from Lopez, but you can see he was calm. His demeanor was calm. The same thing with preparing for these fights. But, it's very rare that we get a 23-year-old, win the world.
I don't know why it's acting up. It's just
first
Verizon.
title defense and fight against arguably the best fighter on the planet. It's a rarity in the sport. I applaud him for that because we need more fighters willing to take more risks. If you beat the best, to me, you are the best.
The only way it can happen.
The only way it can happen. And so I admire the courage of both these guys here, sitting here, and I can't wait till Saturday to get it on. It's going to be a great, exciting fight of very compelling styles. We saying power versus technical. No, I think it's going to be technical with technical power from Lopez, and then you got the, highly technical, Lomachenko.
And that's what Teofimo said. A lot of times guys think I'm just a power puncher because he's got 12 knockouts in 15 fights. Dre, was it something?
Here, let's talk for him. Actually, I want to hear what Andre has to say, actually.
I would say this for both guys. They're both ready.
Yeah.
When I sit here and I listen to Teo, when I listen to Loma, there's not a lot of roaring right now. They've done that, or at least, Teo's done that, and that's not really Loma's style. I just get the sense from sitting where I'm sitting that these guys have prepared the way they're supposed to prepare. And when you do that, there's not a lot to say.
Right.
You're just ready to put it on display and show the world. These guys are ready. Teo looks in great shape, and he always trains, but he gets big in between fights, but he looks like he made the weight the right way. He looks happy, and that's how you can tell a fighter made weight the right way. You're a little grumpy come fight week, but he seems to be in his element, in his zone, and maybe Loma seems a little uptight. He didn't really seem relaxed. I didn't see him smiling. So this is as close of a fight as you can have. You probably got to give Loma a little bit of an edge because of the experience factor, but that doesn't mean much because these guys have an opportunity Saturday night to potentially put on an all-time great fight. This fight has these kind of ingredients.
Yeah.
You got confidence from both guys, but Lomachenko has over 400 fights total in between amateur and pro career, 2 losses. You got a young fighter in Lopez who he's not taking no for an answer, at least not easily. I'll say this. I'm not giving you my pick now. You got to tune in Saturday night. But I will say that the winner is going to have to go through fire. It's not going to be easy.
And, Mark, when we look at what Loma said, he says, look, I expect a...
All right, let's talk. We're here. What is it, 72 hours away? 73 hour, 10 p.m. Eastern on regular primetime ESPN and ESPN Plus. On TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. ESPN did some clown shit. So Teofimo, and in fact what we're going to do is we're probably going to be doing some jump cuts, because I'm going to get you some highlights, some clips, and, we're going to talk about the fight for about a half an hour. I really didn't want to live stream because I'm working on my live stream platform, and, I'm doing some nerd shit behind the scenes to make sure I got a new look for Saturday night because I'm treating that like it's my season premiere, because we don't have any breaks in boxing, and especially since I'm covering mixed martial arts now, we don't have any breaks until after Errol Spence, Danny Garcia, so it's going to be busy. Here's the build up.
With skills like Lomachenko, he takes the WBA crown. He takes the WBO crown. He's now the WBC world champion. He wants to be undisputed.
I wanna be undisputed world champion. Champion need be just one.
You see the Brooklyn star and destructive power of Teofimo Lopez.
You talking slick, you ain't scaring nobody.
Hey, I don't know who that music belonged to. We got to mute that right there. I don't know who that music belongs to. We ain't going to destroy my video. So let me tell you, the press conference was prime time, ESPN2. I'm watching through you could also watch on the ESPN Plus app. And, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Wednesday. This is way past my bedtime. So I wasn't impressed. I mean, obviously it's ESPN. It looked nice. You know, it was filler, you know, to fill people in who were basically, if you didn't know who Loma and Teofimo were, then they accomplished the goal. If you've never seen them fight before, then you got the information that you needed from the press conference. It's just that you can tell that Loma is not for talking. You know, he's got that, I just want to get in there and fight. So whereas Teofimo was talking all this shit in the build-up, and it's like, fans, including myself, was expecting that. You know, like for him to be like, yo, I'm not trying to hear, I don't give a fuck who you are, that type shit. However, I do understand, you know, he's still a young guy, you know. Teofimo like only 22, right? Some shit. 23. Just turned 23. So, you know, I get it. But I just wanted to, you know, to see a little bit more from him, I guess. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a jump cut, and I'm going to give you some highlights, brief highlights from the presser. And we're going to talk about Blood, Sweat, and Tears episode 2. I'm actually going to do a full review on that, but I want you to see this weird shit that, you know, distasteful. We're going to call it distasteful that that ESPN did with a question, you know. But anyway, TstreeT controversy. It's going to be on Saturday. Here, let me tell you who's going to be on the card first. And I got to be honest with you. I got Lomachenko, but I'm not saying that Lomachenko can't get his ass knocked out by the bigger, much stronger, because Teofimo can probably max out at 147. You know, maybe touch 154 one day, but I'm going to say 147. So overall, like, this is a big dude for Loma. You know, even when Loma rehydrates, he looks like a blown up, like 135 pounder, you know? So he don't want to take the chance in getting touched by this young kid who's been going out there and damn near knocking everybody out. And it'd be looking easy to him when he does get you. However, who was Teofimo fucking Lopez fought? You know, yeah, he got Richard Comey out there, but what happens when he goes deep waters and can't knock you out? Look at the Nakatani fight. You know, so that's what it is. And, you know, to be honest with you, I want to see Lomachenko get tested. You know, I want to see him get hit with some shit. Anyway, jump cut. We'll be right back.
Just being a strong fighter, just coming forward and throwing lucky punches. I mean, the whole thing really what it comes to is the ring IQ. You got to be smart. I mean, 18 years, I mean, I don't look that bad, you know?
Another media question. This time it's for you, Vasily. It's from Dan Canobio at CompuBox TV. He says, this is going to be your 5th fight at lightweight. The stats show, the CompuBox stats show, that you've been getting hit more at 135 pounds than you did at 130 pounds, than you did at 126 pounds. Now, listen, I give you credit for being aggressive and a fun fighter at times that's willing to throw. But he says, how much emphasis has now gone into defense at this point in your career and with this matchup?
No, and that
you don't want to get hit.
135, we have a different reach, a different size. That's why we have a different with landed punches. So, of course, it's more harder for me fighting in 135.
And right now, I'm sure the CompuBox guys are acknowledging, nodding. Yes, he's right. That does affect that. Teofimo, it's hard to discuss the trainers in this fight without reflecting.
Now, listen to this shit right here. This was distasteful to me. You know, kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, all right, they had a candid moment, you know, when they were doing the recording, you know, or the shooting of, you know, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And it's something like it's a golden moment, but like, why bring it up again to try to capitalize off of it in this type of scenario? You know, it just was a little bit distasteful. But listen in. Also, please subscribe and follow me on Twitter at TstreeT4Life. That's TstreeT, the number 4, life. And I'm revamping my whole social media, everything, you know, to get it back where it used to be in its heyday. You know, it's part of the business, whether I like it or not. But listen to this shit.
On a very emotional moment we saw in the docuseries leading up to this, and when you discussed and you were asked about your father. Let's play it for everybody.
My relationship with my father, it's not the same. Yeah. Not the same. I still love him, but it's not the same. I think that he got too caught up with this whole boxing world. I have an on and off switch for a reason. And my father, man, I love him to death, don't get me wrong, but this boxing world, man, you gotta make sacrifices. You gotta make a lot of sacrifices, that's for sure. And I'm hurt by the relationship that we have. I mean, we make the most out of it. At least I do. But I wish that my father could be my father sometimes, rather than just always my coach.
And I be dealing for shit like with shit with my pop, because I work for my pop.
Michael Woods wants to ask a question for you. He says, have things smoothed out between you and your dad? Wondering if the dynamic could be a distraction leading into this bout. I will ask this question along with what Michael asked, and that is, with the unique relationship, can it actually help you having this level of emotion in a spot like this?
I love that man over there. I love him to death, like I said, and I'm always going to back him up. Like I said, the dynamic duo. So I know that they want to air this out, you know, come fight week and everything, but I'm zoning that out. You know, I talked to him already. We hug it out. We do everything. You know, that's what a father and son relationship is. I mean, listen, if it wasn't, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the person that pushed me to keep going. And I think he could say the same thing with his father. And I'm very thankful for that. You know, I'm doing everything I can. And, you know, they want to break me down, but they just can't. They just can't.
Two fathers, two trainers.
You can tell he's clearly
crafted,
uncomfortable talking about it.
Said it would happen, and here they are, the two world champions getting set to meet on Saturday night. We're going to take a short break. Final thoughts when we return live from.
So yeah, like really, you know, Teofimo was very, I'm not gonna say apprehensive, but you know, it was like, you know, they were forcing him, not trying to force him, but trying to give him a push to be like, yo, talk your shit. And I got to be honest with you, the replay value is very low. You know, there's nothing like here where it's just like, oh shit, let me rewatch that shit. Like, remember you said this and this? Nah. So with that being said, let's take a little break and swing over to, you know, here real quick. I think that's the timestamp. And then talk about the card as a whole. So was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before where there was a Zoom call for the undercard. And let me tell you, this Edgar Berlanga, he was talking some big heavy shit. You know, about like when the time comes for Canelo and all that shit. And like, you know, because he got to get rounds. You know, he been knocking everybody out in the first round. He hasn't been out the first round. And you know, he understands, you know, he seems like a well put together dude where like mentally, like he know, like, yeah, people want to see me go rounds. Like, even though I am going to knock people out if I get the chance. But, you know, he talking some big shit. Alias the Chosen One. So, yeah, I covered one of his fights before. And for those who don't know how it works is once I cover a fighter once, you know, like the A-sides, I usually tend to always cover them. That's usually how it always is. So I don't believe I covered one of his fights. I'm not sure, but I'm going to be adding him to the rotation. He's fighting a Lanell Bellows. This guy right here who's never been stopped. Another fight I'm interested in, of course, is Alex Saucedo versus Arnold Barboza Jr. That's going to be some shit. The other fights, yeah, not too much. You know, but I'm going to be here. And we can't forget about Cassius Clay Collard, who's up on this joint, too. He's not listed right here. Hope ain't nothing happened. But yeah, you know, I wasn't really like, you know, like really, like immersed in the press conference. And the thing is, I was looking forward to it all motherfucking week. Yo, no bullshit. I was like, yeah, that little motherfucking Loma Lopez presser, that shit gonna be, just life is just isn't fair all the time, Life just isn't fair. Here, let's listen into some more.
We'll see.
Same professional record, but obviously this is a 3-division champion. This is a guy that did things faster than anybody has. This is your first title defense. This is your first time headlining what by all accounts would be one of the biggest pay-per-views there could be, obviously free on ESPN this Saturday. But
shout out to ESPN for that.
Point to your lack of big mega event experience coming on a stage like this.
I mean, hey, that's what it takes to be from a good fighter to a great all-time fighter. You got to do things like this. And we spoke about this for a while now. Why am I going to go back on my word? You know what I mean? I talk like I said, I talk the talk and I walk the walk.
But he wasn't talking the talk here.
And I know I will become undisputed world champion.
There has been a lot of talk. Coming up next, we're going to dig into the seed that was planted for the trash talk leading up to this fight. More Loma and Lopez live from Vegas when we come back.
So the biggest argument for this is, like, listen, I've covered hundreds of fights on YouTube over my, career here, or whatever you want to call it, doing videos, and I've seen, amazing things. Fucking shit that wasn't supposed to happen. Shit that be like, oh, that really, like, oh, he really down there, like, Unfortunately, I've seen men die in the ring. It's like this, and I'm not wishing no bad mood. I want all the fighters, everybody to be safe. What I'm saying is, Teofimo got to show me something. I'm that type person. You got to show me something. Because looking at the resume, I never rated Richard Comey too high. He was going life and death with Rob Easter. Don't disrespect the bunny. But I never rated him really that high. But it was impressive for Teofimo to do what he did to him. Don't get me wrong. But when you look at it, yeah, Diego Magdaleno. By the way, Diego Magdaleno is fighting on the Tank Davis undercard. And he was talking about how, like, that knockout from Teofimo changed his life and shit. It was crazy. I'm like, yo, you got to show me something, bro. Because you going from, like, a C-level fighter, B-level, all right, B-ish, low, B-, C-ish type fighter. No, am I being disrespectful? Where y'all rank Comey at? B+? Y'all motherfuckers probably say he B+, you degenerates. But anyway, from whatever level that is, all the way up to this level, bro. And I was just watching the Saucedo fight. Welcome to the big league, punk. He fought Saucedo and then fought Gary Russell. This was the mandatory where he had to go over to Showtime. I remember that. This was around the formation of the LDBC. It was around that time. And PBC was about... The PBC ain't start yet. They were about to. Like, I believe they was like... Did they start yet? I don't remember. Well, anyway. Because it was a Golden Boy card, I remember. But anyway. Rocky Martinez, Nicholas Walters, Jason Sosa, Miguel Mariaga, Rigo. Rigo's, that shit still disappointed me. And I never rated, Linares high. I'm sorry, because you never know with him, man. Yeah, it was a good fight. Jose Pedraza. Crolla. Yeah, poor Crolla. And Luke Campbell. By the way, I got Luke Campbell beating Ryan Garcia. My opinion. I'm entitled to it. Damn it. Looking at the rankings, my biggest issue is, like, Loma. Okay, if Loma wasn't made the franchise champion, then he would have had to fight Devin Haney to be the mandatory. But that's the way it's got to be. But people are going to be mad at me because they're going to say, well, put it this way. I don't rate the franchise championship. That belt up there, that's not like no belt. It's a belt right there. But the franchise is a status. And in my opinion, even though he had won the WBC, he was never a WBC champion before to be elevated to a franchise. And yes, because of that, we're getting this fight. But come on, man. Like, yeah, I want this fight. I don't want it. Like, I want the fight, but it's like, yo, I need y'all motherfuckers. Like, these belts, this don't really be mean enough if you be finessing for shit. You know, and I just was like, I was like, the WBC is not going to order Loma versus Devin Haney. They're going to find some type of way out of that shit. And they made this motherfucker, no disrespect to Loma, I'm just saying. When I call you motherfucker, I'm not like oh, disrespectful, even though they come across that way. But, you know, we're talking like my homies and shit, you know? That's how, you know, we do things around here. So I'm just like, man, they made the motherfucker the franchise champion. He never was like a WBC champion before. I could say if he was a WBC champion in the division before, or hell, when he fought at 126. But this was his first WBC championship. And then when it's time for him to fight a mandatory in the next fight, you fucking elevate him? Would they have done that for somebody who wasn't Loma? And I understand he had those other belts. I just don't like it. Because now I'm looking at it like, well, then, motherfucker, you can't, like, you got to fight Devin Haney whenever Devin Haney take care of his shit. You know, I hold out some hope that Loma versus Tank Davis is going to happen if Tank Davis beats Leo Santa Cruz. And let me tell you, I got some sickening thoughts about that. I got Leo Santa Cruz beating Tank. I told you it's past my bedtime on a Wednesday, but I've been thinking this for some time now. And no, I'm sober as a cobra right now. I'm thinking that he went life and death with 1 foot, 1 shoe. Gamboa had 1 foot and 1 shoe. He didn't go life and death with him, but he couldn't finish him off. That shit was all given out, and I got one of them funky ankles. You know, so come on, man. So I'm thinking, like, if Leo can take his punch, you know, Leo gonna throw motherfucking 1,000 punches that fight. Outwork Tank. It's my opinion. This is America, and I'm entitled to my opinion, and you will respect it. And remember, I do this for you, the people. Your voice shall be heard on this channel. So anyway, move it on. The winner, there's no rematch clause, by the way. Bob Arum said he doesn't believe in him. The winner of this fight has a mandatory, which is the winner of Lee Selby versus George Kambosos. But when? Technically, the winner doesn't have an immediate mandatory because Teofimo is this mandatory. Kambosos Selby won't have to get their IBF shot until fucking end of next year, some shit. Around this time-ish, 2021. It won't be called for some shit. So the next, basically, Loma's going to have a fight, at least a fight where he can fight whoever he wants. And there's been some, you know, those rumors are still out there, and that talk of him versus Berchelt, if Berchelt beats Oscar Valdez. And let's not talk about the guys that can move from 130 to 135. One fight I'm interested in that's on that side of the street that can be made is Loma versus Shakur Stevenson. You know, because Loma can still go back down to 130. That's some. You think this some shit? That's gonna be some shit. That's gonna be some shit. That's gonna be some shit. You know. So yeah, of course I'm gonna be covering all these fights. You know, Devin Haney fucking fighting Gamboa too. Ew, and he's coming off of the injury. His first fight back, straight out the oven. Like, fucking boxing sometimes make me sick. You know, but whatever, man. Whatever, man. I'm going to cover the fight. So, yeah, let's get back to this. Oh, wait, we got to go past the commercial break. I am hyped, though. But this is good that I'm doing this because I'm preparing my body for Saturday. I got a wacky sleep pattern. But things have gotten better. You know, I got $5,800 in fucking lawyer retainers. I'm gonna be so broke, like this next month and a half, like broke as shit. $5,800 for 3 different attorneys. One is 25, 15, and 13, I believe. I don't remember. 25, I think it's 25, 15, and 13. 100, like 25, 75 or some shit. Weird. But man, I'm suing everybody.
The lobby, I just came up to him, shook his hand like a...
Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. And I don't care what y'all going to say, the viewers who know what I'm about to say. I had a little run-in with Teofimo Sr. too. Not a bad one. But yeah, he will walk up on you and be like, don't I know you from somewhere? Like, he will walk up on you. And he do love his lick. Like, he had these pink libations. You know, like some old Grey Goose splash of cranberry type shit. Like no ice. Like that type shit. They look like lukewarm motherfucker.
Я помню хорошо эту историю.
So listen to this.
Он может говорить свою версию, я сейчас скажу свою версию.
Teofimo-Lopez.
И кому верить, люди выберут сами.
We was by the lobby, I just came up to him, shook his hand like a gentleman. I wasn't gonna say nothing to him. I said, how you doing? But I felt like he didn't show me any respect. You know, he like looking us over, like, your son is not on my level.
Ooh.
Stop dreaming.
Ooh, shit.
Выпивший, после чего он там сказал, что мой сын идет за тобой, он снесет тебе бошку. Я говорю, хорошо, давай неси сюда своего сына.
I don't know what happened. I just got triggered. You know.
Triggered as fuck.
Maybe the way he walks, maybe the way he's so arrogant that he is.
People were calling me and pretty much just telling me like it was a big deal. Yo, you know, your father just like...
Welcome to my club.
And I was like, well, I mean, what did he do? What did he do to piss him off?
There you have it. That was Lomachenko after his win.
Он шел по направлению ко мне, они взяли его под руки, ну, как бы и забрали. Извинились, говорят, сори, ну, и увели его. Вот наша первая встреча.
Teofimo-Lopez is dad. He's very outspoken.
And I was like, why they drag Kelly Pavlik into this?
Like a man would do to Lomachenko's face, and he said, my son would knock you out. And Loma didn't like to hear that.
When I went up to him and I told him that that's something that I believe really deep inside my heart that he will be an easy fight for my son. You know, I really believe in that. I mean,
you know, I spoke with my father.
We here now.
I pulled him to the side. I was like, listen, I understand that I got your back. First and foremost, we're going to do our job.
To me, he's nobody. This kid's never been freaking hit with a good punch.
Lomachenko's a diva. That's why I look at him. He's a diva. He's a.
Ну и после этого он начал верить в себя, верить в то, что они действительно станут чемпионом мира. И...
He's gonna have, man, it's time now. And you know, with his pop, like, saying like you gonna retire and all that shit, y'all got some shit y'all got to prove, mates. Y'all got some shit y'all got to prove. Like, shit is gonna be ugly. Well, we're going to be here. I'm waiting for the emails from Top Rank to see if there's going to be any post-fight, you know, anything. I don't have permission from them. So we can't stream the weigh-in. And I think the weigh is going to be on regular ESPN anyway. I need to see what's up with that. Like, we're able to stream everybody's shit, but like they put their stuff behind a paywall. They got better with it lately. Like over the last like year, but before to be able to watch Top Rank like press conferences and weigh-ins, you had to have ESPN Plus. And I was like, that's weird. You know, like Golden Boy and Matchroom and all them, and even PBC sometimes they say like they give you access to stream the shit because it's like it's a media joint. You're supposed to be putting that out for everybody to see, big or small. You know, but yeah, we're gonna see what's going on with that. So of course there's some more I gotta say, but we still got, you know, more videos to do. TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Of course I'm going to be here on Fight Night. And especially since Savannah Marshall and Hannah Rodkin got canceled from the DAZN, Ritson versus Vasquez. I was going to cover that. What is wrong with me? I was going to cover that fight, that card. No way. That women's fight getting canceled was the blessing. Thank you, God. Anyway, TstreeT Controversy with FightView360.com. Please subscribe.
I believe really deep inside my heart that he will be an easy fight for my son. You know, I really believe in that. I mean,
you know, I spoke with my father afterwards. I grabbed him, I pulled him to the side. I was like, listen, I understand that I got your back. First and foremost, we're going to do our job.
To me, he's nobody. This